Is this altcoin about to blow? What is going on, guys? How are you all doing? This is Yix here, Magnum Crypto, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to do a market breakdown. It's Sunday, so it's the end of the week. Very good time to look back and to also analyze the charts to see where we're going to close for this week and then how it will impact next week. So we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Kava, Ocean and Band, some coins that I covered I think 2 weeks ago. So I'll be revisiting how those charts are looking and how it's progressed since then. So without further ado, actually before I get to that, shameless plug here, I created a crypto course called the Magnum Crypto course. It's for beginners to really understand all about cryptocurrencies and to also gain the tools to actually get started in investing in a safe manner. I spent a good amount of time on that course, so if you're interested, please click the link in the description and enroll. I've hosted it on Udemy, so it's completely free. And as I said, it's packed full of content. I've got 5 sections: technical analysis, cycles, tutorials, and psychology. All very important aspects you need to be a good and sustainable trader. And here I'm all about long-term, the kind of turtle philosophy: take your time, focus on the skills, and with practice you will be profitable. And again, this is all about investing long-term, so it's not about the quick buck, it's about sustainable wealth. So that's why I've made this course all free, so no one has any excuse not to miss out on the next or the current Bitcoin or crypto bull run. So it's all there. As I said, link in the description, sign up, and I've also got a private Telegram group, so again the links are in the description. Join, and this is where I post my weekly technicals, charts, and also just kind of insights throughout the week. Also, obviously, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and like this video. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff. So follow me on the socials. Links are down in the description. Sorry about that. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. Let's start with, not with BAN, let's start with BTC, the one that runs the market. Whatever Bitcoin does affects the rest of the market, so it's always important to start with that. So last week, or in the last few weeks, the high point, the upper range was about 10,900. And the lower range was about 10,200. We have, and also there's a zone in the middle at 10.5, a very, very important zone. Obviously, we smashed through that zone and created the upper limit, the upper range. We have since retested the 10.5 region and rallied strongly to test the next level or zone at 11.5. So very positive. So we've got the high, the swing high, or smaller swing high, and a swing low over here. And this current week, the week that's ending now, you can see there's a lot of indecision here. So quite low volume, which I've mentioned in my Telegram group, which is an indication of somewhat indecision as well. When you've got something like that, you're not sure where the market's going to go when you see something like this. However, the momentum is slightly shifting to the bullish direction. And again, as I've mentioned in the Telegram group, when you see volume dropping off like this, you expect a big move coming up shortly. So what could happen is we could retest that swing low, or this area of resistance, which will probably turn support, and then rocket off with hopefully an explosive move coming up shortly. As you can see here, when you see volume dropping off, it leads to some kind of big move very soon around the corner, as you see here. So volume was very low, and then explosion in the upwards direction. So we're seeing that happen again. This is this is a pattern that happens all the time. You see volume kind of dropping off, and then boom, you have an explosion. So we did have obviously an upwards move here, but it's not the kind of explosion that I'm looking for. So we could see that happen in a retest of that upper range here, and then bang, we climb higher. That's obviously a probability. With crypto and trading, there's no such thing as certainty, but that's my thoughts, that's my bias. And if we move to the daily time frame, we can see that it's created a new kind of upper range, which is the zone at around 11.5. So we've tested it twice now in the last week or so. Again, we may climb downwards to this resistance point, basically the midpoint between these two ranges. We'll have to see as we progress into next week. But again, the volume is diminishing, so we need to wait until that injection of volume, until we can really see a decisive move in either direction. So we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to Ethereum. So let's start off with the weekly on Ethereum. So as you can see, in the last few months, let's say, we've created a nice double bottom here. So two lows right here, and then we have a swing high in between. So since then, what's happened is, once we had that double bottom, we have broken above that swing high, that resistance point, and we've now somewhat retested it. Again, this is very low volume with massive wicks in between, so somewhat of an indecisive move. But this double bottom and then the break and retest is a positive sign. So I'm leaning towards the bullish direction with this, mainly because of that double bottom. Again, with the volume has been decent, but similar to Bitcoin, it's been on the decline. So that could be an indication, as I said, that there's an explosive move coming up very shortly. And thus could we see a rally towards the weekly high, or the upper range, sorry, of around 434. That's what it's probably likely to happen. So that could be a big move, and that's how it's looking on the daily. So in my opinion, I'm leaning towards the bullish on this one. If we look at it on the daily time frame, again, we can see, so we've got these kind of swing highs. So this has been retested recently. We had a massive spike or massive move to the downside, created a massive low, a swing high, a swing low, and then we broke that swing high. We went above, we created a higher high and also a higher low. So that's 3 consecutive higher lows. A very positive indication for sure. But now the thing I'm looking for next is for us to break this swing high, to go above this, and then retest and carry on higher. So that's what I'm looking for. So a much clearer picture with Ethereum on the daily. I'm looking for that break above this, and then I'll be much more bullish. But in general, from this point onwards, you can see continuous higher lows and higher highs. So if we can just break this, then I think 434 is definitely within reach. So very bullish on the daily. But the main thing I'm looking for again is that break of the swing of that level over here, 387, this swing high, and then I'm sure it'll be to the moon after that. So let's go over to the DeFi coins. Very lucrative market, of course. Let's start with Kava. And let's start with the weekly. It's all about a long term. So on the weekly, to be honest, it doesn't look too good. So we've got the lower range over here. We had the initial test, we had a strong bounce from this level and then a reverse back to that level. So on the weekly, it's a second test, and obviously the time we are now is literally just hit that and it's looking to close there. So unless we see a reversal on the weekly time frame, this is not looking too good. Second test, and we're now at the bottom. However, this could be set, it looks more clear on the daily, but this could be the point as to which we create that double bottom and continue higher. And then what I'd be looking for in the future is, or in the next few weeks, is to break above this level, and then I think it's really rocket time after that. So looking at it on the daily, again, it looks more clear on the daily. You can actually see that we created a double bottom here. I placed the trend line over here at 1.9 because I've seen these wicks over here, and you can see that every time it goes below that, we have a strong bounce. Second time here, strong bounce, and now we have indeed created a higher low. So that's a positive indication. It's not quite confirmed yet because we're still kind of on that curve, but if we continue going higher and actually confirm that higher low, then that's a good indication. As I said, on the weekly, I'm looking to break. Once we break this level, I think that it's time, we really start to see higher levels, $2, $3, and then above to about $4, because we don't have much resistance in between these points. So if we can retest this and break above it, then that's very positive. Moving on to, let's go with band. So on the weekly, I posted this analysis on the Telegram group, link in the description. So you can see a very clear trend line respect here. The red trend line is the only one, so it's quite obvious. Every time it's hit this trend line, it's had a massive reaction, a massive bounce, so it's acting as very strong support. And now we're edging closer. We've tapped it on the daily, most likely with wicks. But if we continue to go long and actually proper test it on the weekly, I think we could really, this could be a third strong bounce. And then we could go over and retest the all-time highs at around $15. Very clear, very simple. Often, the simpler your charts are, we don't really need to make it that complicated. You can see clearly it's been respecting this trend line, very nice. Obviously on the converse, on the flip, if it breaks the trend line, then I think it's gonna be looking to go lower, potentially to $4 and potentially lower. But we'll have to see. I think it's retraced quite a lot since the all-time highs, 15 down to $6. So this could be enough of a retracement to start seeing higher levels. I did mention in some of my previous videos that I thought the end of September and then October we will start to see like the next rally to start going higher. Since then it's been a bit of a delay, as you can see. It's taking longer than expected, but it's looking like it's setting up now. You can start to see the prices are looking, or the cryptos are looking like they're ready to start going up. They've consolidated a lot of the gains, a lot of the boom since these kind of rallies, and obviously you have to retrace. I think that it's getting ready now to go back on the up. We could still see a shock because this is crypto. Crypto, these charts make you think, okay, it's getting ready to rally, and then boom, massive shock. But often one of the moves in crypto is a big shock or an unexpected move followed by the expected move, if that makes sense. So on the daily, I'm conscious of time, it's already 17 minutes. On the daily, as I mentioned in my previous video, previous market breakdown, we were bouncing in between these two ranges, and we've continued to do so since my last video. Broken below it and had a strong bounce back to the upper range, and now again we've tested we've tested that lower range, and we're hitting that trend line much more clearly on the daily time frame. So could be that time. If you look at previous tests, we've gone past it and then rallied upwards, and in the first occasion we've touched it and bounced instantly. So let's see, this could really be a strong rally. Band could really take off after this point. So this could be a good time to load up. I certainly have added to my position in anticipation for this move. So let's see if I'm right. And then let's move on to Ocean USD. I think I used Bittrex. Yeah, okay. So Ocean, as I mentioned in my last video, I was more on the bearish side with Ocean. I think I made the video around this point when it hit the lower support level. Since then we've broken below it. I did say we need a lot of volume to really go up. We did not get that. We've broken below this point of support and tried to retest. We retested with its wick, but it's not worked. We need to go back above this point of resistance. Otherwise I am bearish on Ocean for the short term anyway. It does look like we found a new bottom at 30 cents. So that is a good sign because there has not been much action in between these 2 points, as in clear levels of support resistance. So 30 cents, which is a key number, 30, a whole number, a big even. So we'll have to see really. At the moment I'm more on the bearish side with Ocean, unless it either breaks above this or it creates a solid bottom. Looking at Ocean from daily time frame, as you can see, it went below that lower range, massive drop below it before a strong bounce from that, and it looks like a false breakout after that. So that is a more positive sign on the daily time frame, but this is the third retest that we've had of this low range. We really need to see Ocean to form some higher lows and break that upper range before I become more bullish on Ocean. So at the moment I'm leaning on the bearish side until I see some more of a strong push to the upper range. However, another point to think about is if we continue to break or bounce between these levels, we could start to see this kind of coiling action where it's just creating a lot of pressure in between these 2 points, which could pop in any direction. We will have to see. That could be a good sign, because obviously if you create that pressure and it then goes on the upward direction, then we could really smash through the all-time highs if we use that, if the pressure is used in the upwards direction. So let's see how it progresses in the next week. So that will be all for this market breakdown. I hope you got some value from that. Overall, a good amount of the cryptos I'm actually more bullish on, but yeah, that's it for this week. Hope you got some value from that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.